All right, Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. And Shalom to the Leckman out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Okay, and through the spirit, I'm trying to make this lesson as quick as possible. Basically, a brother wanted some further edification, upon this picture, a little further understanding, and also asked the question of where there Levites, amongst the Ashanti, because he noticed this picture online and, saw this guy here with the breastplate. And, there were, Levites among the Ashanti and among all the different tribes out there in West Africa. Some tribes were predominantly just straight Levi. Some tribes were Benjamin mixed with Levi and Judah, so on and so forth. We were all still mixed up over there, in the west coast of Africa. Okay, just as we're scattered amongst the four corners of the earth, we were scattered amongst each other the same way over there in the west coast of Africa. Okay, and I'm gonna just bring out a quick pointer, speaking on this picture, and then I'm going to hit some further other pointers, basically to show how you did have some Levi amongst the Ashanti. All right. So this is at the bottom of page 81 in Hebraisms West Africa. All right, and it reads, Ellis relates how in 1881, when messengers came to Mr. Griffith, the lieutenant governor of the Gold Coast, while relations between the Ashanti and the British were strained, that official, apparently through ignorance of local customs, asked them how he was to know that they really came from the king of Ashanti. They pointed to the gold plates on their breasts as being their insignia of office. Okay, so you had tensions between the British and the Ashanti. Okay, so you have basically the king of the Ashanti send one of his priests right here, because that's what this guy was. That's what this guy is in this picture. Someone of his priests, basically to go delegate for him. Okay, because of course you notice the breastplate, but the turban as well. Now, in the scriptures, it was always known for, a priest upon duty, to wear his turban. Okay, to wear a turban. Now, all Israelites, wore turbans, but priests, had to wear it during a duty. Now, at this time, he wasn't doing a sacrificial duty, but nonetheless, it still was an order given by the king, so it was still a duty nonetheless. All right, so he was on his way to go delegate, for the king, over there with the British, basically. All right, and we know that tribe of Levi, they dealt with the Urim and the Thummim. So a priest being the delegator, for the king, is basically like the same thing, because he's there, to protect the king's interests and to see what he can, foresee or foretell, of future endeavors, dealing with these Edomites unto the king, so he can relay the message unto the king of what he foresees, man, through his vision of whatever, deity they were calling upon at that time. All right. So let's jump to a few other pointers, okay, here, to show how you had some Levites migrating over there into Ghana. All right. Now, this is from a document called The Origins and Brief History of the Awe Tribe, okay, of the Awe people. All right. Under this title, it says settlement between Niger Bend and the middle reaches of River Senegal. All right. I'm gonna just jump around a little bit, okay, in this document. Well, it's not that much, but right. I start from here. Okay. Oral tradition has it that they made significant contributions. That they're talking about is the Awe people, the Awe tribe. All right, they made significant contributions to the rise of the old Ghana Empire. Okay, so what you had Levites in the Ghana Empire, you had Benjamin and Judah all within this empire. This was a great and well-known established Israelite empire. All right, whose capital then was Walada near Timbuktu. The old Ghana Empire declined and was replaced by the Mali Empire. Okay. Yeah, so on and so forth. So I'm sure you brothers probably know the history. You had the Ghana Empire, which was set up first. Then you had the Mali Empire, which took over the Ghana Empire. Then after that, you had the Songhai, which took over the Mali Empire. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna just jump down here. It says, whilst residing at the Niger Bend, they contributed to the emergence. Once again, the day is the Awe. All right. Contributed to the emergence of all three empires of Ghana, Songhai, and Mali. So you had Levites all within these three empires, and you had to have Benjamin and Judah in there as well. And it only makes sense because what was left over was majority Benjamin and Judah anyway. You know, um, after of course, the Assyrian captivity of the northern tribes. You had mainly Benjamin and Judah. Of course, sprinkled in with some Levi. Okay, and these three kingdoms, Ghana, Songhai, and Mali, were all three well-known Israelite kingdoms when you look it up, man. This is a well-known fact that all three of these kingdoms were well-known Israelite kingdoms. All right. Now, within the kingdom, within the kingdom of Israel, what it was customary, the Lord gave the order for, to have Levites, within each district of Israel. They had the refuge cities, so on and so forth. You had Levites in the domain of Simeon, Levites in the domain of Naphtali, in each district of the nation of Israel to carry on their priestly duties, to do the sacrifices, the sin offerings, so on and so forth, to carry out that priesthood. Okay, and that was the same way it was, when our people came over into the west coast of Africa. They knew that they still had to have the Levites there within each kingdom or within each different tribe to carry out those priestly duties. Okay, and I'm gonna get back to that point in a while, to prove that. But I want to read on a little more into this information. All right. So you had the Songhai Empire, which was the last empire. Okay, so I'm gonna read on. All right. Settlements in Nigeria, Dahomey, and Togo. After the breakup of the last of these empires, and by following the Niger River southeastward, the ancestors of the Awe, once again, from the previous lesson, we proved that this term here really isn't Awe. It's really Aver, which goes back to Eber, Ibar in the Hebrew. So Awe is really pronounced Aver, or Ibar, in the Hebrew. So it's really the Aver tribe. Okay, so the ancestors of the Avers moved into present-day Nigeria. At the height of the Oyo Empire, settled briefly at El Ife in Yorubaland, okay, a Sun state of Nigeria, but moved on at the fall of the Oyo Empire, and going westward they entered Dahomey, okay, so on and so forth. So after the end of the Songhai Empire, which was the last three of the Gali, the Mali, and the Songhai, at the end of that empire, all right, which was predominantly, all up in this region, all up in here, I should have had a better picture, but predominantly all up in this region up in here, the Songhai Empire. Okay, so they traveled, the Awe, they traveled southeastward. Okay, then from here, they settled in the place at El Ife in what's called Yorubaland. Then they kept moving on westward. Okay, and they settled in Dahomey, the kingdom of Dahomey. You had some settled in Dahomey. Then from there, Dahomey, they split up even more. You had some that went into Togo and some that went into southeast Ghana. Now, between a river here and Togo to this Lake Voltat in Ghana, this area is known as Awe land. Okay, and just to show edification on that real quick, yeah, Awe land is an area between the Mono River, that's what it's called, the Mono River in Togo, and the Voltat Lake in Ghana. Okay, so this area is known as Awe land. From the river in here to Voltat, this is known as Awe land. Okay, so you had Levites within all four of these regions right here. Okay, all four of these regions you had Levites within these different regions right here. Yeah, so within this area of Ghana, which is predominantly, Akun, predominantly Benjamin, you had, like I said, you had some Awe down here, and you also had, Ashanti down in this area as well, and they were commingled basically, with Levi. Okay, Levi, they had their own separate They're separate cities and so on and so forth within this area. But when I mean commingled, that they had some of the priests, with the Ashanti as well, what to carry out the duties. Okay, so you had both of them within the southern region. All right. So when you look at Ashanti, it says, this is from BristolDrumming.com. It says Ashanti culture location. The Ashantis inhabit the central and southern Ghana. Okay, location. Awe tribe people are found in southeast Ghana, southern Togo, Benin, and southwest Nigeria. So just as I showed within the other document, they migrated. They migrated from Nigeria onto these different regions right here. Okay, now going back to the point what I said earlier. Now it was known in Israel for what? To give the Levites, their proper portion, okay, of the land within each sector, so that they can carry on, the rights of being priests, to carry on the sin offerings and so forth, which was the same case, with the Ashanti. All right. So this is Numbers 35:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in, and ye shall give also unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them. So the whole point is, going back to here, that this region from Intago to Voltat was known as Awe land. So this is like what their separate sector, or their cities of refuge, their cities for them to dwell in, so on and so forth. So that when they were called upon, they had to go in and carry on the duties, of being priests, for the surrounding and the different tribes. Because when our people came over into the west coast of Africa, they knew that they had to have Levites amongst each different tribe, just as we had over there in Israel, to carry on these duties. Okay, in the Hebrewisms of West Africa, this is page 206. All right, and it says 2 centuries and a half earlier, Lancelot Addison, who spent several years among the Jews of Barbary, had observed. Okay, this is dealing with the land of Morocco, but it's just to hit the point, to show you that they knew. All right, they are not preemptory in entitling themselves to any particular tribe, yet they generally believe that they are the remains of Judah and Benjamin, together with a few among them of the family of Levi, whom they conceived to be wonderfully preserved, that they might not be destitute of competent persons to officiate in the synagogues. Okay, they knew that majority of the Israelites that were within the west coast of Africa were predominantly Judah and Benjamin, sprinkled in with some of Levi to do what? To officiate in the synagogues. That's the whole purpose of this picture. So Israel knew when we were over there that we had to have Levites to officiate and do the sin offerings and the things that a priest does. Lastly, I have a couple pictures here. All right. Now this is from another website here. I can't pronounce the name. It's pretty damn long and it don't make no sense. But as you see here, showing it you here, a priest, the same picture with the 12 stones. Another picture, with this devil, but with the 12 stones, showing you that that's a priest, showing you that's the ephod of a priest. And what here in this picture, it says what? Ashanti Levite. Okay, showing you that that this guy here in this picture, that he's a Levite, man. Now I got the same picture from another site, and they said the same thing, man. The man seated is an Ashanti Levite. The Ashanti claim they are the dispersed descendants of the biblical inhabitants of Ashan, man. Okay, so this guy right here, he's a Levite, man. Okay, to carry on the rites and the rituals of the tribe of Ashanti, man. Just as well as they had within different tribes over there in the west coast of Africa. You had Levi spread it all throughout the midst to carry on the priestly duties, man. I hope this lesson was edifying, for you brothers out there, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and I hope, the brother has understanding on this picture now that this is a Levite, and that Israel knew, we had to have Levites amongst each of us, to carry on, the sin offerings, so on and so forth, man. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the electmen out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and truth, sincerity. Shalom, and death to America.